fall down and it'll come up and fall down and come up. And so I'll give you a count of 3. Alright? 1, 2, 3. It looks better on boomerang, believe me. Alright. Now the lids are just down. They can all come apart and be repaired. And they're all charred on the inside as well. You can see the chamfer on the lid. And it fits into that groove. Okay, so I'll get somebody to pass me will you pass me the staves? You just hand them up to me. Okay. So what I have here is what I call a master hoop. Okay. This is always just behind my bench. This is my template. This will give me the size of my barrel, and I have different sizes of this hoop depending on what size barrel I'm making. So the only thing I haven't done is I haven't numbered the pieces, so they go back exactly the same way. If I'm making a brand new barrel, they'll go back, get built this way. And so I'm putting a set of staves together. And when I started in the mal, as we used to call it, 40 odd years ago, first thing in the morning at 9 o'clock, you would make 5 of these and you have 5 done by 10 o'clock break. Okay? And then you move on to other work. Now you had to mark your work as well. You had to put a letter or a number on your work. So if something happened to work, if it leaked or whatever, they could find who last repaired it or made it. So you could work as fast as you like, but you still had to do quality work. And so I'm going to start over with a wide one up against my leg, and that frees up my other hand. So as I said, the only thing I haven't done, I haven't numbered the pieces. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on a used barrel like this. But a brand new barrel, I would go wide, thin, we go wide again, we go thin, we go 2 this time because they're a little bit thin, and we go wide again. So the reason I'm altering the size is I'm trying to make a circle. If I put all the wide ones on one side, I'll end up with a neck shape. I'll never get it wrong. And so, and one of the hardest things to learn, if I reverse a small bit, put these here for 2 seconds. One of the hardest things to learn is to get the angles of these staves, okay? So on a wide one like this, the angle is very pronounced on either side because I'm taking up more circumference. On a very thin one, it stays straight almost. There's no two the same. And I only judge that by eye. I must look at that piece and decide, is this the correct fall or correct angle on this one? And the same on the wide one, is this the correct fall or angle on this one? Every one I get wrong, like when I put them together later, it might be a bit open. I've done it badly. That will leak. If I put too much of an angle, it might be open on the outside. I must get them all to match. Now, I could go back and redo them all, but then I'm getting nowhere very fast. I've got to be getting them all right from the start. And as I said, everything's by eye and by experience and by skill. That I can make a container that can hold a liquid for 40 or 50 years and never leak. Purely by eye. So, that's one of the hardest things to learn. So we start out again. We go wide again. Narrow. And wide again. Does anybody have any questions or been talking too much? Pardon? Well, I'm trying to judge, like I don't want to put all the narrow ones just on one side either. I want to try and get, and then like I've got 3 kind of the same there, so then I go a wide one, Basically, you get to a level where you look at the angle of the stave, you just know, it's just instinct. When you're putting the staves together like this, you don't think, you just know, it just flows. If the only way I can explain it at this stage. You get to a level of skill that it just becomes second nature. It's like riding a bike or driving a car, you just do it. Yeah. So normally we would do 5 like this in a day, and that would be 5 done by 10:30, and then we do other work. And that's what I was saying, I still had to mark, I had to put a number or a letter on my work. Now mine was inherited, it was the number my dad had, which of course is number 1. And which I still have in my shop. And like a lot of my tools are over 100 years old. And it's not that I keep them out of sentimental reason, I use them. They're still the best tools to use. So to make this from scratch, using the tools I showed you, the axe and everything else, it takes 1 day to make this size barrel. Alright? And to make the big ones, which is what my dad made in Northman Distillery and Watercourse Distillery, the big tall ones, he'd make 2.5 a week or 5 every 2 weeks. And you're starting with straight timber. And you're starting with straight hoops. Like the hoops are straight, they're not splayed. So you had to do, it was very physical work. Very skillful, as I said. And to be doing this again so close to where it all began, I find it amazing today. So, see, this is what happens when you get a cooper who's been lazy. Instead of taking the piece out, they just bore the hole and plugged it. Now that would never do. That would just leak, and it would just keep leaking. Like you can see the outside of it, it's just no good. So that's obviously a defect in the wood that they just didn't want to replace. And that's why it came to my shop to be fixed. There's different sizes of barrels, I was saying. So this is an American barrel. This is the only one that's actually a barrel. All the others are casks, they're all casks. So you have a barrel, you have a firkin, you have a butt, you have a hogshead, you have a pork pipe, you have a puncheon. They're all different sizes. Every region developed a size barrel for their needs. For example, a pork pipe from Portugal is a very tall, skinnier cask than it would be the Spanish equivalent. The reason it's taller than the Spanish one is that takes up the maximum space on the boats coming down the Douro River full of pork. If they kept it the same size as the Spanish, they'd lose space on the boat. So they made it bigger to maximize the space. So there's reasons why casks were different sizes or whatever. There's another cask that I have in my shop, a big huge fat one. It's about 700 litres. Okay? It's called a ton. The word ton. So when that barrel was full, usually with cognac, that's where the weight ton comes from. It's a ton weight. Because it's a ton barrel, it's full, it's a ton weight. If you get 200 of those tons, those barrels, on a boat, it's a 200 ton boat or ship. So shipping is measured in cargo, which originally was named after a barrel. So weight and shipping measurement comes from a barrel. Or a cask, as I would say. So the last couple going from the outside, I'll give you a small bit of trivia. I'll take up the last one. So all barrels, like even this one here, a bit longer maybe, but traditional barrels, this section here was always long. Okay? It's called the chine area. When these barrels in America were used to transport petroleum, if you're rolling, you're not careful, and people who were rolling and weren't very careful, there's a lot of weight in that. In this one, when it's full, there's a quarter of a ton weight in it. You hit that off of a wall or something with a bit of speed, you're going to it'll half in two. Its own weight will break it. So if you hit this corner here off a wall, you'll snap it here right at the groove, especially if it's long. So the American government introduced a rule when these barrels are full of petroleum to reduce that from this size down to this, so there's less chance of it breaking when you're transporting it with petroleum. So this is not a design of the bourbon industry. This is a design of the petroleum business. So that's some of the little bit of history, bit of trivia. So let's go to the outside. Now, when I worked in the mall, it wasn't uncommon to have a drink throughout the day. You know, and when the barrels arrived in the Cooperage, the first thing when you got your barrels is you shake your barrel to hear, could you hear a swim inside them. And the chances are the Coopers down in Middleton sending the barrels back to the mall would always leave a drop in the end field. And then you want to hide the barrel, take out this section here, the bung, empty the barrel onto a little tub and fill 1 or 2 bottles. Now it was done in complete secrecy. Now the building I'm talking about, if you go across the road and there's a big kind of roofed building, smart building, that was the old warehouses. The reason it's a small roof like this, that's as high as you could reach. So there was no point in building a tall roof because you could only stack the barrels 3 high when they were on the bulge. So that's as high as a man. So they would then fill a couple of bottles of it up, but then some days the tub is missing and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They're well pissed from kind of having a few drops all day long, right? Some of the guys are up there, and they're anxious to get the whiskey into a bottle, to bring a bottle home or whatever. So they go into the kitchen, they get the little old aluminium teapots, right? They try and balance this barrel, 2 guys, as we say in Cork, clangers, right? Over the little teapot, they get tired, they let go, boom, flattens the teapot, right? And I have pictures to prove it. We got a picture from one of the guys that photographed the one day doing it. And then there's disbelief, which always amazed me that there'd be disbelief because this happened every 2 or 3 months. You know what I'm saying? And then call for the apprentice, give him some money, get out to Northman Street and buy a new teapot and bring it back. And at 5 o'clock, everybody would arrive in for their tea, see the brand new teapot on the table, and everybody knew where it came from, of course. So we have brand new teapots in the mall every 2 or 3 months. And that's a true story. So anyway, we'll push on with this. So, because I know you're getting anxious to have a whiskey, but I do live out by Blarney. That probably tells you why you talk so much. So. Knock out my stains, get them all flat. Now every Cooper had his own tat or rhythm or whatever, and before you went to the Cooperage you knew who was working there, because they didn't, or whatever. So that's the kind of thing I miss nowadays with all the old Coopers gone. But so the groove is up and down. I need to get that perfectly level. And I won't spend too long doing this because we're not here all night, but now the rivets always line up with the front of the barrel. So when your barrel is lying horizontal in warehouse, the bung stave or the bung hole is facing up, because that's probably where you're going to get a leak if it's going to leak. There's also another reason why you want to know where the front of the barrel is. So the lines of your head, that's the direction of the grain of the wood. And you want to line the grain of the wood up with the front of the barrel. So when it's lying horizontal then, the grain is coming from floor to ceiling. So when you put another barrel on top, it can take the weight. If you turn it this way, and your grain is coming across, there's no strength. And you put a barrel on top, it can buckle, and then you get a leak. So you want to make sure you get the grain running in the right direction. Now the only thing I'm missing is a rush or a reed from a riverbank that I would put in all around here to cork the wood. That's the only thing I have to help me seal the barrel. There's no glue, there's no silicones, there's nothing like that. Nothing that will add an off taste or whatever to the whiskey. And rushes or reeds probably go back to Egyptian times as well. So in this Dave. Now even when I'm hitting that hoop, if I don't make the right contact, I bend the hoop. And I don't want to be bending the hoop and taking it off and have to redo it. So even skills like that, you could hit that hoop and not bend it. There's the rush or the reed that we use. My leg. Last hoop. Line up the rivets. And back to square one.